The MBA program is our opportunity to reach out to the community of Central Wisconsin and really the region by offering people opportunities they hadn't gotten before. We're able to find a niche of a group of people who want to improve their hireability and want to improve their value that they can add to an organization, and they haven't had an opportunity to do it before, and now they can. I'm in the Northwoods and Wausau and Marshfield, and so it's really, I think of it as outreach to those individuals. The MBA program is an opportunity to practice applied leadership, where we have knowledge, of course, but that knowledge is applied in your immediate workplace. We have a huge diversity of people. That's one of the strengths of the program. We have a decent amount of people who are fresh out of college. We got the 4+1 program. They go for a year and get the MBA. But then we have people who've been in the field for 30, 25 years, and they come and they want to just expand their opportunities for promotions, and some of them have big projects they want to launch and big initiatives in their organization, and they get the confidence that they need. So yeah, I'd say anyone from fresh college graduates to people who've been in the industry for years. What's exciting for me is that it is so diverse. There's so much unique fields that are represented, and also just unique people groups and cultures that are represented. We've actually expanded quite a bit into kind of underrepresented students. We've been working with a lot of Hmong students we brought in, and some students who are Native Americans, and the age is diverse, and everyone can learn from everyone else. The people who are, I had someone who was probably 65 years old, and he learned a lot from a 23-year-old, and vice versa. And so the learning happens ideally with the professor, of course, but from each other, because of that diversity, and that's what's exciting for me. So I had a student who was from among the Hmong population, the Hmong community, and I knew quite a bit about what Wausau has done for immigrants and continues to do, and for refugees. And so I knew that we're trying to increase that population, so I wanted to talk about a subject in one of my lectures. It was trust. And I decided to address how trust can sometimes be difficult for underrepresented people groups. Other people who aren't from underrepresented groups may not think about that, but I talked about the difficulty and how we have to take different steps and different moves for people who are minorities to build trust with them. And this student reached out to me individually through email and just said, "Thank you so much for bringing that up. I finally felt seen and heard in this classroom and in school, and that hasn't always happened for me. So I appreciate that." I thought that was a pretty special moment. The MBA candidates always impress me. They are so community-centered, is probably the number one thing that comes to my mind. They volunteer constantly, they're advocates, they have causes they deeply believe in, and they use every single resource that they're acquiring in the MBA program to push those causes. And they're always selfless causes. They're always to empower women, to empower college students, empower a certain group of people with special needs. They're always looking outside of themselves. And that makes them really approachable and humble and incredibly fun to work with. If you want to have a place to belong and a place to feel like family, you should come here. I'm amazed at what the students can do to reach out to each other and help each other out, and they spend time together outside of class. There is even one student who graduated recently who's a CEO of a financial planning company, and he's hiring students that he went to the MBA program with. He's recruiting right out of the MBA program. So if you want to feel like you belong and feel like you're part of a family and be at a place where people are going to remember your birthdays and celebrate with you your successes, this is a good place for you to be. They're treated as individuals here. I was amazed at what Lena Matezi's done when it comes to investing in the lives of students. One of our first group of students who came in, someone had a baby. And Lena was telling us all about it, and we got to see pictures of it, and we got to know the name of the baby, and we talked about it, and we invested in that person's life. And people often feel, I think, like whether they're on the hierarchy, they're a supervisor, they're a leader, or they're just starting, they sometimes feel ignored and unseen and like they don't belong. And we give a place for them to belong here. I see grit. I've had candidates who've encountered terrible tragedies in the middle of the program and before that, and they just keep on pushing through. And character from that. I see approachability. And I see it's lifelong learners. They are learning just out of intrinsically being motivated to learn. And it is going to create some material gain in many cases. But they don't, most important to them is they just love to learn and they're just naturally intellectually curious. So we had a lot of different directions that people go. One of them I mentioned before is that maybe there's an established leader already, but he or she has this vision for this grand project or this initiative that they hadn't had the confidence to launch. They often will do that after they're done with the MBA program. They have the confidence, they have the resources to launch that new project. But we've also seen people who get incredible promotions. There's a story we love to tell about an individual who got a promotion in a bank and was able to negotiate an 8% raise on his salary. And so that opportunity is there as well. And then with those 4+1 students who are just getting out of college, they often get their great first job. It may not be a leadership position, but they'll often get that first job because of the connections that they established in the people they went to school with for the MBA program. The MBA program is for current business leaders who want to launch powerful, risky initiatives, but it's also for new college graduates who are just getting into the field and want to start their first career in a company they want to stick with. The MBA program is a family, and we are going to know you and you're going to know us, and we're going to invest in you. And we're going to know when your birthday is, and we're going to celebrate it with you. And you guys are going to get together with your classmates, and you're going to go bowling sometimes, or go to picnics and so on, and we're going to be all a part of that as well. So it's a family. But it's also a tremendous opportunity to learn, not only from the professors, but also from one another, who come from complete different disciplines and have different perspectives that they can offer you. So I think people might be afraid of an MBA program because they think it's going to just be all book work and all theory. And there is some theory and book work here, but this is application. In my class, the communication class, you actually will be doing work in your physical workplace. Like your workplace is a laboratory to experiment with what you're learning in the class. So it's all applied learning. I teach a communication class. I've had students invest in their families as that kind of laboratory where they work on building trust with the family and they work on crafting visions and setting goals with their families. So that opportunity is available as well, and even just friend groups and communities as well.
You know, our candidates they range in age from 21 to 61. They have 47 different undergraduate majors, but there's something that they all have in common. And when I think about what profound changes that they've made, I would say that we've given them a place to express and develop their drive. Aaron is an example of this. Aaron has a military background. He did our one-year MBA, and I have to say that he would almost, if he were here with us now, he would almost say he hated the hardest class we have in our program. It's an analytics class. You know, we just talked to him a week and a half ago, and he was on the floor picking up some really cool UWSP swag we had for him. And you know what he told us? He told us that one class has become his whole job because he just got a promotion in that area. And he said, I'm really glad I struggled through that class. Profound is about the shifts that our candidates have to make when we provoke them to think and act differently, often in ways that they had never seen themselves thinking and acting. We prepare candidates to create movement in 4 different places. They're all about moving projects, moving people, moving organizations, and moving communities. And we have seen their talents come together in this space. Quinn Hom, one of our recent alumni and a fellow, is a fantastic example of this. She designed a project that moved her organization and moved our organization because she raised almost $64,000 in an endowment to benefit non-traditional and BIPOC students right here on this campus. She did that. She set a goal of $50,000. She did it in 8 months, and she exceeded her goal by almost $14,000. Our students, the skills and talents that they're developing are about moving themselves and moving everyone around them. I think my favorite opportunities that I've seen students having in this program was something I hadn't anticipated. It's all the mid-program promotions and mid-program raises. You know, I thought our program was gonna lead people to see those promotions and raises afterwards. And we definitely see evidence of that, but there's a lot of mid-program stuff going on. So Laura started working at an area employer in a technical position, you know, let's say, call center, technical position. She moved into her dream career in HR, and from there, she moved into a career in OD. That was organization development. That was all in her time with us. So while she took that one-year program with us and she's studying hard with us and working hard and working, she's also getting all of those promotions. Kevin Isle is a fantastic example of how a student can use the program. He joined our program, he was a graduate assistant for us, and he negotiated a part-time junior banking role with a regional bank. While he was in the program, he got a promotion. He got another promotion immediately after the program, and then I think he's on his third promotion now at a different bank. So what I would say is that he has learned how to understand what his talent is, hone and refine his talent, and bring that to the region and the marketplace in a way that's to his advantage and to the region's advantage. The most unexpected praise that everyone on the MBA team would tell you we've received is when people come up to us, and it's happened again and again, and they say, "This program changed my life." We thought we were going to change their careers, teach them some stuff, help them be better leaders, and on top of all of that, we're changing lives. One of the clearest promises of our program is that we're going to power up your career. And that is evident in the kind of promotions that we're seeing students get while they're in the program and after they've graduated from the program. We are seeing tremendous career mobility and career acceleration. Our program has several benefits that are essential to why students want to choose us. Flexibility, how local we are, that we're in the communities of Stevens Point, Marshfield, and Wausau. The fact that we are accredited and we have brand recognition. The fact that we have an amazing group of MBA candidates that they're hanging out with, so their network is growing exponentially. And then I would say our faculty and our focus on regional economic development. That all rolls into a package that's like no other MBA in the state or that we've been able to uncover so far. Brand, flexibility, accreditation, our faculty, the strength of our faculty, and our focus on regional economic development. Business school accreditation matters. It's the good housekeeping stamp of approval. It says that we are doing the continuous learning necessary to be rare and different. The research in the marketplace is really interesting. Again and again, we hear people saying, "I don't get enough feedback. I don't know how to get better. I don't know how to improve." We are a feedback-rich environment where you're going to get the opportunity to perform and correct and excel. You want to choose the UWSP MBA if you want an affordable investment that's going to pay off over a long period of time. You want to make friends with people you never even expected to be friends with, and you want to be a part of something that matters. You want to raise the wealth and the effectiveness and the focus of our entire region. Come join us. You know, people ask me all the time what sets this program apart, and I just sound like such a dorky professor because it's the research. We did the work. We started with a database of 10,000 alumni of UWSP. We narrowed that down and we talked to 1,000 employees who graduated from every major here on the Stevens Point campus. And then we did 17 one-hour interviews with C-suite leaders all across the region. And you know what we did? We smushed that data together, and it told us exactly the kind of MBA program that people in this region wanted to excel, businesses to excel, employees to excel. So we listened, and then we applied it. And as I say, it's the craziest thing, but research works. And people so often lean across the table and say to me, "Wow, this is just what I want."
The School of Business and Economics at UWSP was really the place that I went to really find my passion for business. I feel like there are several majors there that offer a lot of flexibility, and they offer a lot of opportunities to really find out what each individual is passionate about, whether it's marketing or it's finance or it's insurance. And I feel like it's a place where people go to really get their start and really understand what the business world is like. My favorite parts of the School of Business and Economics would definitely be the professors. The way that I look at professors as an undergrad versus a graduate student drastically changed over time. And I think having the professor to student relationship as an undergrad really molded the relationship of having more of a peer-to-peer, person-to-person relationship in the MBA program. instead of having a relationship where it's more of a like a give and take kind of relationship, it's more of a learning together kind of scenario, and that was really useful. So I think the more peer-to-peer relationship from MBA professors and students, that relationship molded just practically and naturally, and I feel like over time it really helped understand the world around me, and I think it was just a benefit over time to really step into the real world and understand that, okay, I have the confidence to communicate with people that have a lot of experience, they've done a lot of things, they're really successful, and to step into the world and kind of have the confidence that, okay, I can communicate with these folks, and I can really just identify with what they've taught me and what I've learned with them. Kind of a sidebar, this is kind of cool. So this is perfect. So today, I have a closing with someone who participated in the MBA program. I have a closing with them that I met them in the program, and it's our fourth one in 6 months. So and like that is a perfect example of this. So I would say one of the more unique opportunities that Stevens Point could offer as a student was their connections to local business leaders and local business owners through internships. So in my internship experience, I was able to connect with a local business owner who really showed me the ropes, who taught me a lot of things. And then stepping into the MBA program, having the ability to do research on a local company, that was also really unique. And just having the ability to connect with another influential business person in the area was just something that I hold with me today and something that's been extremely valuable. One of the unique things about the MBA program is having the ability to connect with and build relationships with individuals in all sorts of industries, all sorts of areas of business, whether it's a nonprofit or it's in the private sector in banking or in finance or insurance. And it's just been a really unique experience connecting with people like that, and ranging from experience of just getting started in your career to people that are executive directors, people that are owners, and just having that experience has been extremely valuable as well. Whenever I bring up the MBA program to someone else, when someone asks, how did you enjoy the program? How did you get connected to it? One of the first things that I think about is how much I miss it. And the reason why I miss it is because you spend a year or possibly 2 years working with the same individuals, 30 to 40 to 50 people every week in class, and you get to know them and you get to know their business and their experience, and every day is a learning moment. And just to have the opportunity to build those relationships with people you care about is something that I miss all the time. And although that I've built those relationships and I still stay in touch with many people that were in the program and that are in the program, but just having that special time with some of the most talented people in the area in one room was really special to me. One of the attractive pieces of the MBA program was not, I wouldn't use the word general, but I would use the word how broad encompassing the program is. You have the opportunity to learn about specific topics like marketing and finance, and then you also have the ability to learn about more soft topics like communication. But I think each class spent enough time on each topic to make it really valuable and to build a broad base of information on a lot of things that business leaders need to rely on, whether it's marketing or communication or finance. And those are all topics that, as a business owner or a business leader, those are extremely valuable every day in your everyday work. So, the MBA program is a place where people interested in business and people with business experience become a candidate in if they want to accelerate their career, if they want to transition to another career, if they want to consider making a large jump in life, whether it's starting a new business or transitioning to a new company, or really stepping towards what their ultimate end goal is in their professional life. The classes were for the most part an interactive experience where you were in a room with 20 or 30 other business professionals, and you would learn about an array of topics ranging from marketing to finance to communication. And each class was very group work oriented. You had the ability to build a portfolio over time of projects that you would complete, and a lot of those projects were done with the help of professors and working directly with professors. And that was something that was drastically different from my undergrad experience. So the MBA program has advanced my own career in a number of ways. One of those ways being connecting to other people in the business space, in the finance space. So just knowing what I would consider the right people. And I would say another way would be looking back to undergrad when I entered into what I would call my first job as an analyst. As I was going through the program while working as an analyst, I started to pick apart what I was interested in, what I wasn't interested in, and I ultimately ended up really finding a passion in sales and finance together. and that opened up an opportunity to be a commercial lender. And since then, I've advanced with another organization into another commercial lending role, which has been a blessing, mainly due in part by the MBA program. Since graduation, the MBA program has allowed me to accelerate my career, transition from an entry-level job into a more intermediate job, and then again into something else with a little more responsibility. Since the MBA program, I've been able to transition upward from being an analyst to a business banking representative, where I was given some initial responsibility to develop business for a local bank. And since then, I've transitioned into another role as a commercial banker, where I do much of the same role, except with more responsibilities. If you are a student considering a career that may take a little more experience, I would certainly recommend stepping into the MBA program as a candidate. It's going to give you a lot of experience. It's going to give you every opportunity to meet with individuals in the community that have been there and done that have been business professionals for many years, and it's really the place to be if you believe that your career is out there waiting for you. I would certainly recommend individuals to consider the MBA program at UWSP, whether you're considering a career shift or a career transition, if you want to accelerate your career into something completely different or step into something totally new. I think one of my favorite things now that the MBA program is wrapped up is how connected everyone at the program has stayed with alumni. The events and the connections and the lunches and just being there to talk about what's going on and what's next has been a joy. So that's from the heart for sure.
4+1 is the opportunity that our students have if they graduated with in the SBA program with a bachelor's degree to take just 1 year of the MBA, and they'll receive the MBA after the 1 year. The 4+1 program is allowing our undergraduates to dedicate only 1 year of classes to the MBA program and earn their degree.
What we find in the students that we attract here at UWSP is there is a tremendous appetite for applied learning. Students want to get their hands dirty. And in the School of Business and Economics, we are all about applied learning. Our 4+1 students take that just a little bit to a little bit higher level. So 4+1 students, so 4 years of undergrad plus 1 year of grad school, those students want applied learning in a real world environment that gives them credentials that separate them from everyone else in the marketplace. What we say to our students in our 4+1 program, they're gonna be competing for that same entry-level job position, right? You've got an undergrad, you've got that grad plus the MBA, you're still getting that same entry-level position, but what's happening is you are prepared to be promoted much more quickly because you've already worked out all the kinds of things that come in that first and second and third year of employment. You've got a leg up. The 4+1 program at UW Stevens Point is an incredible way to accelerate your career. You get experience and credentials. Weave them together, that matters. The 4+1 program at UWSP is the perfect way to accelerate your career because we focus on skills and knowledge and credentials that will position you to compete very differently in the marketplace. One way to say it is we help put your career in your hands. Our 4+1 program is an incredible tool that helps students take their career into their own hands. They get knowledge, experience and application, and a credential, all in 1 year.
So the 4+1 program is a program that allows School of Business students to step directly into the MBA program right after they're done with their degree in undergrad. It also allows some students to take undergrad courses in the School of Business and graduate courses in the MBA program concurrently, which allows students to finish their education sooner rather than later. It would be for two reasons. One was Lena. One was a connection that I made with Lena exiting undergrad and entering graduate school. Lena has been the right person from the start to lead the program, and she was ultimately the reason why I decided to choose the Stevens Point MBA program. The second reason would be just having the thought of spending 4 years of undergrad, taking time off and then going back, maybe after getting married or starting a family, and the difficulty that could kind of bring on. So I felt that going to undergrad and then immediately jumping into graduate school was the most efficient. It possibly saved some money as well, and it just felt right. And I think it's ultimately up to each person to make that decision themselves. The 4+1 program allows School of Business students at UWSP to finish their undergraduate degree and then begin their MBA program as a candidate and complete that program in one year. The 4+1 program was extremely useful in my experience, just to be able to step in directly from undergrad into graduate school. Saved a lot of time, probably saved some money, and it was a nice transition with keeping a lot of the same professors while adding in some new ones, and then just staying in the same mindset of I'm still a student, I'm still here to learn, and I'm not taking a break in between undergrad and graduate school and potentially starting a family and opening up room for difficulty to enter back into the educational space.